Alright, we're recording. Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Trading Paint Podcast, Episode 10, the Darlington Throwback Special. There are a ton of amazing paint schemes this week. Say hello, Terry.
Hi. Sorry, I didn't know where to come in, but yeah, super excited. A lot of new paint jobs. I'm looking at the 00 right now. It's already looking like it's going to be a hot week. So, the cars, we have a couple things to get to.
Before the cars, well, first off, it's currently 2:16 a.m. The race got delayed 4 hours because of the big fuck off hurricane coming up. So, I was supposed to have dinner with my family, and they called me this morning. I'm like, well, I was gonna watch the NASCAR race, so they didn't come up, and then it got delayed 4 hours. So that was fun. We had a week off last week. Anything else? Anything else new? New and exciting?
No. I mean, well, I'll get to it. Do we have to throw in the sponsor, mate?
We'll throw it in before we get into the paint schemes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But first off is the three woohoos. Do you want to start us off? Do you want to start us off this week?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I got my first woohoo.
Okay.
This one's easy. Okay. Just quick data. I wasn't thinking about this before, and then I was like, why haven't I done this? So Futurama, like he freezes himself.
Yeah.
Like 1,000 years in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So they have that stuff going on. like you can freeze yourself.
Yeah.
And like preserve your data and just hope that like in 700 years, super science will be able to like, I don't know, revive you, and also immortality will be kind of like solved. The idea.
Yeah.
But I was like, why not do that? I was like, imagine being like 700 years before like immortality and you choked.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I was like, yes, I want to do cryo.
Yeah, like I was just thinking, watching the pilot to Futurama like one day, and I was like, is it really that simple? Like, is it really like just freeze my body for like the next like 200 years? Is it really that simple? Is. But then I got to thinking more about it. I was like, well, if I have like a piece of meat that I don't want to go bad, I can stick it in the freezer and it's going to be good for like the next 50 years. So just imagine like the technology we can have like in the next 100 or so years. Easy peasy technology. They can just restore your shit real quick.
Funniest thing that I learned when because I always thought that for somehow you were still alive when you were frozen. And it's like, no, you're obviously dead, you idiot. I was like, well, you're gonna kill me? But yeah, it was so funny. Like somehow you're just gonna die, but somehow they're gonna get you going again.
They'll figure it out, dude. It's literally just.
They can't wake you up right now, but they can put you to sleep.
Yeah, they're just like, we'll figure it out sometime, dude.
It costs like $30,000. I'm like,
$30,000. It costs $30,000.
Right? I thought it'd be like, I don't know what you're gonna say. I thought it was gonna be like $5 million. Only the ultra elite.
I thought it was gonna be. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be less. Cause like, what is the technology? They throw you in a freezer. Like, how it doesn't cost $30,000. It doesn't cost $30,000.
What's crazy is like. It's like an insurance. Like it's what happens when you die. It's like if you're an organ donor. Instead, it says like, fly this man to the one cryo place in Michigan. It's like, what the fuck? The poor paramedics. Right?
They're just like, fuck.
That's what's crazy about it. I think that's where most of the cost comes from. Like if you literally is like getting your dead body frozen in time somehow.
Probably.
That's gotta be expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. You can't walk in and freeze yourself. You have to die. Like you have to die accidentally.
All right. Okay. I was just gonna say, what if you walk into the cryo thing and to hang yourself? Like.
Right, but that like then it's considered a crime.
Yeah.
The cops get an autopsy before they get to freeze you.
Yeah.
That's like, imagine. It's like, fuck. I got killed in a murder and now I can't get frozen. I have to be in a court case. It sucks. You should be able to just freeze yourself if you fucking want.
Yeah. Free country, man.
I mean, whatever. Anyway, long woohoo there, but
worth it.
I'm pretty excited. I want to get $30,000 just to make sure that happens.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to like go back and forth, or do you just want to bang all yours out?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go back and forth.
My first woohoo is new sponsors coming to NASCAR. Matt DiBenedetto, he will not be returning to the number 95 next year, and Barstool Sports came out the woodwork and said, hey, we love this guy, we're going to try and sponsor him. So I think they have 2 paint schemes scheduled for the rest of the season. One is in Las Vegas, I'm not sure when the other one is, but gotta love it. New money coming in, like, granted, I'm not the biggest fan of Barstool, and I'm guessing a lot of people aren't, but like, it's money coming into NASCAR. Are you gonna complain about that shit? No.
It's only gonna bring good paint jobs.
Especially like, I think the Vegas paint scheme that they're running is, you know, like the Barstool, like the One Bite pizza thing.
Yeah.
It's that like promoting the One Bite app. So if they just like cover the car in like pizza or something, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I could do that.
Well, I'm excited to see it. I saw one of the mock-ups on Twitter for just the base Barstool scheme. I'll throw that up there. But excited to see the pizza one, and gotta love new sponsors. Back to you, Terry.
Oh, all right. Well, again, this not many people are gonna know this one, but big woohoo for the Spencer Fair. All right.
You went to the Spencer. When was that?
This like happened this weekend.
Okay.
I guess I think they're still open Monday, but I'll be working. But, yeah, I've gone there like every year for the last 10 years. They do a great job. They have fair prices. Like, I want to ride a ride. It's not gonna break your bank.
What did you like? What kind of rides they have there?
Pig racing. The pig racing.
They have pig racing.
And there's like these announcers, and these announcers are legendary. It's like auction house fast.
Yeah.
Like describing what's happening, and it was the most invigorating gambling like with my friends I've ever done.
The Belchertown Fair is in September, and that's always just a shit show. I like local fairs in Massachusetts. I guess I should go to the Spencer Fair.
Dude, Spencer Fair, it's definitely at another level. It's at an upper tier. Like, people come to this. But
I've been to the fair. I've been to the fairgrounds before, but never to the fair. All right. My second woohoo is seeing friends at school. That's really boring. Wow, what a great woohoo, bro.
I was actually fooled by your accent.
I'm just like, well, I wrote these down I think yesterday. By the way, this is technical difficulties are happening as we speak, Terry. Your mic is or your camera's cutting out. Great. But I wrote these woohoos down yesterday, and like I was like feeling, I was like, oh, I'm gonna start in school, I'm gonna see all my friends, we're back, you know. No, like it's just boring after the first 3 woos, like fucking seeing my friends at school. Cool.
Well, yeah.
My third one's better. My third one is much better. So
that is cool.
Back to you.
Cool. I was considering making it my final woo.
Well, don't. Don't.
My friends at school. I love my friends. Jeez, it's definitely not Schweppes. It's stuck.
It's not Schweppes.
It's definitely not Schweppes. Ooh. You know, it would have to be that the bartender at my work, who doesn't like speak English well, but somehow is like a great bartender.
How do they get it? Yeah,
I never understand what he says, but like one time he came in and he just gave me like a full, biggest glass we have of Angry Orchard, and he just smiled and like snapped his fingers at me. He's like, ah.
There's
I still don't even know like his full name. I only know like a shortened, but
you don't need words to have a bro for life.
Yeah, jeez, it was perfect timing. I was like, I could use a drink, and damn. But
nice.
That guy.
My third woohoo is the movie Days of Thunder. I just watched that during the rain delay. You know, it's got Tom Cruise, it's got John C. Reilly, it's got Randy Quaid, and the music is done by Hans Zimmer.
What the fuck?
It's done by Hans Zimmer. The Inception, the guy that did the Inception soundtrack, the Days of Thunder.
Holy fuck, dude.
We'll see.
That sounds like a legendary movie.
It's so great, man. It's just NASCAR. William Byron ran a Days of Thunder paint scheme today.
Yeah.
Fun. Days of Thunder is a good movie. Have you seen it, Terry?
No, I don't think so.
Well, there's this one scene after he wins his first race, which was at Darlington, by the way. He won the Southern 500. On the way home, they get pulled over by cops, but the cops were fake. They were hired by the crew chief, and one of the cops was a woman, and it was just like a prostitute they hired to fuck the driver on the way home. And here's the best part. So a couple races later, he gets into a big crash and gets airlifted to a hospital. And he wakes up after his, I don't know if he had surgery or wakes up after his treatment or whatever. And the boys, all the crew chief and all the guys come in. And then the nurse and then the doctor comes in. And he thinks the doctor's like another prostitute. So he tries fucking try to feel up the doctor. All the guys like, bro, no, you're misunderstanding. All right, great movie, great scene. And now it's time for the boohoos.
Aww.
Mm-hmm.
The boohoos.
The boohoos. Do you want it or do you want me to go?
If you got yours.
I got mine. Tony Stewart is a murderer. Tony Stewart has killed a man. That's my boo-hoo. I want to remind everybody because Tony Stewart has 3 throwback paint schemes today, and Tony Stewart is a murderer. You guys need to be reminded. Tony Stewart has killed a man, and when someone confronted him about it, he beat the shit out of that guy. That is a fact. That is a fact. When someone said, hey, remember that time where you murdered someone? Tony Stewart proceeded to beat the shit out of that guy. That's a fact. I need to calm down. I'm getting too worked up. I'm getting too worked up over this. It's 2:30. My roommates are going to get pissed. But yes, Tony Stewart is a murderer.
Oh, God.
You can take my second boo-hoo.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say my boo-hoo is people not appreciating fucking motherload speed running.
That was, dude. I was like enamored watching your motherload speed run.
Dude, fucking Jesus Christ. Fu was flexing on me so hard. He was just like, "Oh my God, what a shell of a man." He said that to my face. I was like, "What the fuck?"
God,
like, it's not that bad of a speed run.
A shell of what have you got in your time?
I think he probably isn't a speedrunner guy, like an RNG speedrunner. He's not an RNG.
I could never be an RNG speedrunner, man. My speedruns were so like tiny on RNG, and I still fucking hated it.
God, I love RNG.
What's your time down to?
Oh, it's I'm in 4th. I think I'm right. Yeah, I'm 1604.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe in it though. Like I believe in this world record.
Did I tell you that I got knocked down to 5th place?
Oh really?
Mm-hmm. I had 2nd for about like a month or 2, and maybe, but then like the Switch port got new DLC, and then a couple other runners came in, and then I just got knocked down to 5th. Anyways, sorry to steal your speedrunning thunder.
Oh yeah, but that's boohoo. That's
also let me turn off my air conditioner. I don't know if you guys can hear this.
I'm not getting it.
I turned it off anyways. Oh, there goes Terry's cam again. Oh, it's back. Okay. The woohoos and the boohoos are all wrapped up. So, before we get into the paint schemes, the Trading Paint podcast is brought to you by Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way for you to make a podcast for free on your phone or computer. They give you the creation tools that allow you to record, edit, and distribute your podcast at a professional level. You can easily stream your podcast from Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Stitcher, and many more. and make money off of it with no minimum listenership like I'm doing right now. So download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And without further... All right. And first up is the 00 of Landon Castle. Who is...
This is an amazing car.
This is bringing back like waves of nostalgia, man, of Sterling Marlin's car. Oh, this Coors Light. Do you remember in the video games and when they would just rebrand the Coors Light to Sterling Marlin because they didn't want to put alcohol brands in?
Yes.
And like Rusty Wallace was just like Rusty instead of Miller Lite. That was
the 8 car was just a big red car.
Yeah.
There was no sponsors. Oh, I love that.
It was always like Dale Jr. or something like that. That was always fun. But this like Starcom Fiber, when companies changed their logos to match the throwback, like perfect. This is perfect. Font, perfect size of everything, perfect colors. Shout out to companies that will do shit like this.
They nailed it, dude.
This is like just picture perfect.
This is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gray, and I'm saying that. Like,
You
it's the
like
best.
silver metallic, you do not see that color in race cars a lot. It's a beauty.
It's got that, it's an intimidator.
That's top 10 material for sure.
Easy
top 10 material.
My God, everything you want to see.
Mm-hmm. This like both. It's weird how the neon, like, what would you call that? Reddish orangish kind of color, pinkish. But the three colors of the silver, the white, and the pinkish go wicked well together. It's just weird. Like you would never think to throw those colors together.
Yeah. Oh.
Shout out to Landon Castle and Sterling Marlin. So we are going on to Kurt Busch and the Chevy's accessories. This is modeled after Kurt Busch's own 1969 Camaro. Back to this. Not much to say.
To solve their one outline problem that's been haunting them.
Mm-hmm. Like that, the racing stripe, the stripe on the hood just goes nowhere. Doesn't even go across the roof or anything.
Nope.
The weird, you see the little like black kind of indent with the monster logo on it? What the fuck is that doing there? What are they trying to achieve here? It looks not like a 69 Camaro and a 2019 Camaro look nothing alike, so why do you try to emulate that? What are you doing? I have nothing else to add. Also, I think... Actually, I do have one more thing to add. Why the fuck would you just put, like... You see the deck lid in the back with the monster logo on it? Why?
It's all over the car the more you look, right? It scares you.
It's just like they throw tiny little monster logos everywhere. It's like, where's Waldo painting? Anything else?
What I'm hearing about how great this week is, it's not looking...
It's only uphill from here.
Far.
It's only uphill from here. There's not much to say just because it's so fucking basic. Unlike Mr. Brad Keselowski in the Miller fucking car. This was Rusty Wallace, ran it in 1996. I do have to knock this scheme points. The blue and the red little like splatters are much bigger on the throwback, and I like the bigger splashes of color. Because without the color, man, it's just black.
I definitely agree on that, but...
Still a killer car. Like, this is still really nice.
Roll.
That fat Miller logo on the hood, it's unchanged, perfect. The Miller logo on the side is fine. It just like screams mid-90s style.
Love it. And I like the Miller on the red background because they commit to covering the Miller with on the older one,
Mm-hmm.
to covering and using that as the background. This is like sharper, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm. I don't think
I'd like to imagine this is a top 10 car, but how good is the week?
I'm going to say it probably won't make my top 10. But you should.
Rough. That's rough.
I know, but that just goes to show how good Darlington week is. Super fucking good. Good on Brad Keselowski to bring back the paint scheme. The only knock I'm giving you is that those splashes of color aren't noticeable enough, and that just the base paint scheme itself is just a little boring. A lot of these paint schemes are going to suffer from their source material. Race car design back in the day was just shit. It was just worse, objectively. Like, they just used fewer colors, they used fewer designs. Like, you'll see as we go on, but pretty decent from Keselowski. Okay, Austin Dillon in the American Ethanol throwback. This is paying respects to Richard Childress in his own ride in 1978. The black gold, and I think they do a pretty good job with it.
You know.
Do you see the old Bass Pro Shops logo on the side, like to the right side of the 3? That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But other than that,
texting on it's brown too to match everything.
Oh yeah, that's Hang on, just say something. Your mic is static. There you go. That fixed it.
Yeah, it's for 2019. You know, for our taste, my taste. You know.
Yeah, for our tastes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it seemed. You know, we're looking for a little bit more contrast, a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just we're gonna see it a million times tonight. It's just suffering from its source material. But what are you gonna do? I mean, I'm throwing you back to your grandpa's old paint scheme. Like, that's got to be pretty cool. That's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not gonna make anyone's top 10. I'm guessing. Wicked Basic.
Not heard of him in the seasonal ranking.
What's up?
It's gonna be rough for him on our like seasonal rankings list.
He's been so high. Well, he has high highs.
That's why not making the top 10. So that's surprising.
He has high highs and low lows. So, hopefully next week he can bounce it back. Like I'd like to see the Symbicort back, or I'd like to see Realtree or AAA. Those are 3 great paint schemes that I wouldn't mind seeing every week. Okay. On to Mr. Kevin Harvick in the Bush and Big Buck Hunter paint scheme. And beautiful.
Big Buck Hunter.
Beautiful. Wait, you don't know what Big Buck Hunter is?
Big Buck Hunter? No.
You know those arcade machines with the guns attached to them? You just...
Known as...
Huh? I can't hear you. Your mic didn't pick that up.
Is it one of those? It's one of those arcade games.
Yeah, it's one of the shooty light gun arcade games. I used to play a lot of Big Buck Hunter back when I played youth hockey, because a lot of the hockey rinks had Big Buck Hunter machines. It was like $1 to play it. It was outrageous. You only played for like 2 minutes, and then if you weren't like perfect and killed all the bucks and didn't shoot the does, then you could keep going. But other than that, if you got a game over, you had to put another $1 in it. Outrageous, man. Anyways, let's get back to the actual paint scheme. This is beautiful. You're keeping like the bush, the landscape design on the side. That's cool. The orange color just pops so much. The little dots of color. Super modern, super slick. looks great. Probably like mid-pack scheme. Middle of my top 10. But who knows? We'll see. I'll write it down. Let me write it down. Oh, you're static again. Keep talking. You're static.
Sorry.
There you go.
I have to keep talking. Right.
Yeah, it's fucking technical difficulties. Yeah, let me write it down. Okay.
Definitely writing this down.
Anything else to add?
Dots. I love dots that make you feel a texture. And beautiful big hood for Bush. I feel like they failed to do that before. Full Bush on the hood is.
I think you're talking at your ass here.
I've seen that Bush logo like smaller, not using the hood well. So
there's only one way.
Satisfying to see there.
Only one way to find this out. I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna prove you wrong here, Terry.
Whited. No.
You just got proven wrong, bitch.
This wasn't last week, was it?
This was Bristol. This is 2 weeks ago, man. That logo is the same exact size. Anyways, okay. 2 big thumbs ups from Aiden and Terry. I don't want to speak for Terry, but I'm guessing.
Speak for me, I speak for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say you're about right.
We're on the same page here. Okay. On to Ryan Newman in the Oscar Mayer throwback to Mark Martin's 1993 ride. Pretty good, even if the colors don't match. I'm inclined to say that I prefer the yellow, orange, and red. What do you think?
I don't know, that one, they both incorporate the logo just beautifully.
They really do. My God, this is so hard.
That's a really nice car.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking really nice car.
And this paint scheme is just so iconic. Actually, I found my one gripe with it.
They're both really good.
You see how thin the light blue stripe is on the hood of the throwback? Look at it now. It's super fat. It's kind of throwing me off. Other than that, though, like, beautiful car.
I love the look of the old one.
Mm-hmm. Especially
beautiful
with the
cars I've ever seen.
Especially with the Ford Thunderbird, like just the body design. This just looks like a mean car. Beautiful. Mark Martin's
still though, Oscar Mayer
killing it.
It's an amazing week out here.
They reskinned the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile to look like this too. Again, great paint scheme. Love it. Love both the throwback and the original. Okay, now this one's different. This is Daniel Hemrick. However, he's not throwing it back to a specific paint scheme. He's throwing it back to a tractor. This is Caterpillar in the 1920s. They're like old tractors. I think they pull it off well, but as a race car, no thank you.
I don't see how this is emulating. It's not.
It's a tractor, bro.
Another way to do it.
There's no right way to do it because it's a tractor to a race car. Like it's a tractor.
Not bad.
They're doing the best they can, I guess.
I guess.
I really can't. I'm like struggling to talk about it just because I don't know what the fuck to talk. Like, what am I looking at? This tractor? Which way's
cool story, bro? Right?
Like, which way's which way's the front? Oh wait, I see the chair on it. Oh my God, this fucking thing. Also, look at the.
What is that? Shit, you're right.
What a fucking weirdo. Okay. All right. Gotta love the huge number on top. This red color is bright and beautiful. But the gray is just way too dull and boring. It blends together. If I was like at the track and I saw this paint scheme, I would assume that it was just flat gray. I wouldn't even see the details on the side.
The details, this would be pretty rough.
Yeah, it really would.
Just imagine that being full gray. That really saves it. It makes it like an okay.
It's just okay.
Let's say they're on last again. Like if this was like 2 weeks ago's episode.
Yeah. If it
was like one of the few new cars.
If you picked up like 90% of the throwback paint schemes and just chucked them into another week, they would make a top 10. Almost guaranteed. With a few exceptions, but I mean, they tried the best they could. That's the most credit I'm gonna give them. All right, Chase Elliott. He is driving his dad's old scheme from 1981, and I just think it's like this is just like a 1-to-1 replica. I think it looks pretty good.
For cooler.
I'm sorry?
The old font for the 9s is cooler, you gotta admit.
I do admit, yeah. Hands down. But like Napa keeping the old color, like keeping the colors. Thank God Napa is like majority blue. It seems a little like barren though. Like there should be like some more sponsors or something. It just feels like empty. If that makes any sense.
No, yeah, I feel that.
It's definitely not making my top 10. It's kind of weak compared to the crowd.
The last car, right? It's just like,
yeah.
I love this. Like, I love it as a new design, but.
Oh yeah, again, chuck it in 2 weeks ago, it would have made it a top 10. But, on
the side is satisfying just seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, around it.
In 2019 standards, this just doesn't hold up.
Guess not, brother.
No. Okay. So we are going to Eric Almirola in the Murderer's Car from 2002.
Oh shit!
This is bringing back a lot of nostalgia again. I don't know if this was just in 2002 or if this was in just the early 2000s in general, but I want to say like I played this paint scheme in like NASCAR 05, or I don't know if that was anyway. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, right. It looks pretty good. I wish they would have styled the logos to look more like the Home Depot logo, but I can't complain. It's bright. It's got some good contrast on the side with that white and black stripe. The logos are clean and very heavily outlined. I'm a fan.
Yeah, for it.
What was that?
Too much like positive about it though, really.
Yeah, it's like the main.
It's really hard to praise.
The main gripe I have with it is the hood. It's just too barren. The logo has no verticality to it. It's just a horizontal like words. There's no logo.
Flexed on hard by the logo on the side of the car.
Yeah.
It's like I can read the one on the side of the car much better.
Mm-hmm.
Look good on the hood alone.
I don't know, man. I have nothing more to add.
It's just not popping out enough for me.
Mm-hmm. Back in 2002 standards, this is a classic paint scheme. Like this is just nostalgia bait for me. But 2019 standards, no thanks. Now, hopping from 0 to 100 is Denny Hamlin.
Oh my god!
Thank God, they finally changed the paint scheme. They've only changed it one time before this week in Watkins Glen. And what better to do it than Darrell Waltrip's 1991 scheme?
Oh, they killed it.
It's like a 1-to-1. It's beautiful. The gradient with the diagonal stripes on the back is fucking killer. The numbers are like reflective metallic silver. with orange and white outlines on it. The FedEx Racing logo is pretty decent. I mean, this is just
the orange. I love the orange.
Oh my god, this is one of the most faithful recreations of a paint scheme with a different sponsor.
Wow, it's so beautiful.
I love it. I would marry this paint scheme if I could, man. Let me write this shit down.
The plane going through the 11 on the top is. That's so cool.
Ugh. I fucking love it. And there are several more to come. So just you fucking wait.
Rough out here.
Here is Ryan Blaney in the Menards and Pennzoil scheme, emulating Michael Waltrip from 91 to 95. I mean, it's just a basic paint scheme. Borrows from it just suffers from its source material. That's just what it boils down to.
Very, very low ceiling with this.
Yeah. Look at Michael. Look at him. He's just squatting. I have nothing more to say.
That car. It's just not gonna do it, it's just not enough.
Yeah. I mean, cool, I guess, but okay. And the moment we've all been waiting for, Ty Dillon. Fuck you.
Oh, fuck yes.
Here is Clint Boyer in the Rush Truck Centers and Mobile One. Another.
What the fuck, Ty Dillon?
Yeah, we need to go back. Yeah, let's go. The best part about this.
Don't you have to do something? I guess you don't have to do something, but
you don't have to. But everybody fucking hates you if you don't. The best part about this paint scheme is that, like, for the past 5 or 6 races, he ran that Geico military scheme, and then on Twitter, a couple days before the race this week, they were like, "Hell yeah! Like the white, blue, and green Geico scheme is coming back to Darlington this year. Can't wait! Like, are you guys excited to see it again?" Like, okay, bro. Geico has done throwbacks in the past, so I'm not sure why they just didn't bother this year. Anyways, we've talked about it. Anything to add?
No.
Fuck you, Ty Dillon. Okay.
Just wanted to say, what the hell?
Okay, on to Clint Boyer. This is for Tony Stewart's Office Depot scheme back in 2011. Like a 1-to-1 faithful recreation, except for the sponsor on the front. But I was never a huge fan of this paint scheme to begin with.
See.
What's up?
Yikes.
Yeah, yikes. Reminds me of the time when Tony Stewart killed a man. I will never.
Was this ran? Was this did you just say a couple years?
I
hope not.
What was that?
Often was this ran that it's a throwback?
This was Tony Stewart's primary paint scheme when he won the 2011 championship. I think, if I remember correctly, the 10, the 14, and the 41 all have Tony Stewart paint throwbacks to years when he won the championship. So, I mean, I just don't like it to begin with, so I'm never going to be a big fan of this. What do you think?
I hate your paint. I hate your paint job's origin. But yeah, I don't know. Just having same color numbers where there's something behind it on one, it just feels so off-putting. You're not contrasting things correctly.
Yeah. Not
satisfying. The moment that's what they're trying to show off. Ooh, look how cool the side of the hood is. I don't like looking at it.
It's
a bad start.
It's just, it's just not a speedy stripe. It's not. It doesn't convey a sense of speed. It's that it's like a wave crashing down towards the front of the car. It's weird. I don't like it. Okay. Ross Chastain.
Shout out like throwback to the Big Bang.
Throwback.
Nothing.
Throwback to when you were unsponsored. Throwback to fucking last week when you were unsponsored. Okay. This is the biggest disappointment of the week.
Oh.
Hands down. Dog the Bounty Hunter. Is he relevant? Like in?
Is this a real thing? What is this? Like, is this a movie that's coming out?
Is it like a new TV show or something?
TV show, and that they're throwing back to that.
Also, I read a Reddit post that was like dog, like actual Dog the Bounty Hunter was at the drivers meeting and was like and he was like, yeah, don't be a chump, vote for Trump. absolute Chad. But this paint scheme makes me want to puke.
At first, I thought it was like going to be a kind of a funny inside joke, like, and then it was.
No, this is unironic. This is serious. They really want to push Dogs Most Wanted.
You're seriously trying to push something. It's hard to believe, but.
All right, I want to just get this out of my eyesight like as fast as possible. So we're going to just
get out of here.
We're going to jump to Kyle Busch.
Oh.
And this is just better than any Snickers scheme he ran this year. This is a throwback to Bobby Hillin Jr. in 1990. I mean, like perfectly executed, beautiful looking.
2019 colored landscape
looks
better.
It really does. That huge number on top with the blue and the red outline, that's beautiful. Very happy that you didn't win today, because if you did, I would have been really sad. I don't like seeing you win, Kyle Busch.
Roundabout way to get there.
Yes. I'm glad you crashed on the last couple laps or ran into the wall. I mean, just a great paint scheme. I like if this was like a regular paint scheme raced in 2019, I wouldn't like bat an eye. What do you think?
I love it. I haven't seen one so improved. Like usually, I feel like I kind of like the nostalgia colors.
Mm-hmm.
This is one where I certainly think it makes everything pop on the.
Yeah.
Ugh, not brown. So the red and the brown contrast more on this car, and it looks great.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay.
Colors, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
On to Martin Truex Jr. Now, this is a throwback to when Martin ran in the Busch Series in 2004. Unfortunately, it was never a great paint scheme to begin with.
I like history, so I guess it's okay.
History's cool. I mean, I'm pretty sure he won the Busch Series championship in 2004. That's cool. Other than that, it's just black, dude. It's just black with white number, red outline, yellow stripe on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
History. This is for history majors.
I mean, like, it's cool that just to honor his past, and I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel for this one. Let's just move on. Okay. Eric Jones, the winner of this race.
Oh, wow.
Another throwback to himself. This is his late model car when he was 13 in 2010.
Ooh.
Again, not a good paint scheme to begin with. But
the car we were just looking at.
Yeah, better than wait, did you say better than the 19?
From the 19, certainly.
Okay. Shout out to Great Clips for changing their logo to to more better fit the old scheme, but I mean, what do you want, bro? It's got a red stripe on it.
The new car.
I didn't hear the beginning of your sentence. You need to speak up a bit more. I don't think your mic's picking it up.
The hood is the hood's a lot better on the new car.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
The logo pop is bigger and it's like thicker.
Mm-hmm.
All the words, so.
Yeah,
it's still not doing enough on the side of the car. Just
Mm-hmm. I'm sure this paint scheme would have been fine for a 13-year-old on a dirt track, but in 2019 for a multi $1 million
if you're 13, bro.
Yo, bro. I mean he won the race, so I shouldn't shit talk.
Race.
All right, onto a much better paint scheme in Paul Menard, and this is I'm not ready to call it his best paint scheme of the year, but it's definitely in like his top 2 or 3. This is this is throwback to Glenn Wood's 1957 convertible. Yeah, they used to drive convertibles in NASCAR. But it's pretty faithful to the original design. Looked good then, it looks good now. Did your mic freeze? Or are you just really still holding that can of Schweppes?
Yeah. I'm savoring the fizzle.
Okay.
What I was gonna say, I liked how the font's a little bit more flamboyant in this new one.
Yeah.
Still, the red, gold, black, not good about it as you are. It sounds.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are really high on this paint scheme. NASCAR Reddit went crazy.
Science in there, but for me, it's some intriguing angles they're hitting, but not enough color. Just the full black top is like real, you know.
Works
just not enough for me.
Definitely works better for a fucking convertible than a.
Convertible is beautiful because then the gold stripe is like.
Well, that's the Ford Sunliner. That's the trim of the fucking car, not painted on like it is here.
So obviously that looks a lot better.
Yeah, but I mean, the driver Glenn Wood, who drove this car, passed away earlier in the year. He was one of the 2 owners of the Wood Brothers team, so it's means a lot to the racing community and to the Wood Brothers. But I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of this one. I definitely let me write it down. Will probably make my top 10. Additional thoughts?
Seeing how the numbers kind of bleed into the gold stripe.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until now. Yeah, it doesn't happen here. Interesting.
Yeah, it's weird.
I can't say that bothers me too much, but now that you pointed out,
they tried to paint the gray stripe on inside the 2, and it's like it's offline now, but it's not that big of a deal. But that high on the paint job, it's
Split opinion. Is this our first split opinion of the day?
The splittest of the split opinions.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, on to another nostalgic paint scheme for me is the Kevin Harvick's 2017 to 2010. Wait. 2007 to 2010 paint scheme. I mean, pretty faithful to it. It looked good then. I think it looks good now. I'll take anything over a stock Penske scheme any day, so.
again, it's not like conveying a sense of speed.
Mm-hmm.
It'll always do that with the vertical-esque stripes.
Mm-hmm.
It's alright.
I think my nostalgia's blinding me a little on this, but it might. Let me still write it down. Kevin Harvick's my favorite driver. He had a lot of really, really good wins in this paint scheme. Yeah, I like it. That's as far as I'll go. I'm not going to declare my love for it yet.
Yeah, I never did, so.
Okay. On to William Byron, and this is the Days of Thunder car. City Chevrolet. I mean, it's just shitty gradient with neon colors. I didn't like it in the
Gradient.
I didn't like it in the movie. I don't like it now. It's just neon colors that don't work in 2019 and a shitty gradient.
Early 2000s internet ad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Which is great because this movie came out.
That's got some style to it for some. Like, I don't know what this. It feels like less of a gradient. This feels like a very blurry gradient.
Yeah, this is I guess in the throwback it looks like more like a hard transition, and this is more of a gradient.
The green is so.
Ugh, I don't want to look at this anymore. Okay. Now I didn't hear your response because your mic cut out, but I'm gonna assume that you're agreeing with me to move on.
I'm agreeing to move on.
All right, Joe Nemechek is back in the 27 and
back to the 15 throwback
to the 15. Okay, onto the 32 of Corey LaJoie and another masterpiece. This is Dale Jarrett's crunch scheme from the early 90s, and this is perfect. Keen Parts transformed their logo to fit the crunch logo perfectly. The colors are spot on. The design is spot on. It's just a beautiful paint scheme.
I love the incorporating their own thing and matching it.
Mm-hmm. You don't see too many companies doing that often.
Love the 32 font.
Mm-hmm. It's just a beauty, man. Too bad your fucking race team sucks. Speaking of,
But yeah, nice paint scheme.
I'm actually really fucking like this one. It's just clean, and the deep blue, that deep royal blue, is like my favorite color. I wish they would do something with the white towards the back of the car, like after the red stripe is just pure white. I have nothing to like offer for solutions, but I just wish they did something with it. They put a sponsor back there on the throwback or on the original, so
It helps actually.
yeah. I guess it just seems a little bare in the back for me. But other than that, this is like a 8.5 out of 10. I'm comfortable with saying that. 8.5 out of 10.
On the same wavelength here. I love this car.
Mm-hmm. It's a beauty. Okay. Now let's go on to Michael McDowell and the Dockside Logistics. This is throwing back to Jimmy Means from the late 80s to the early 90s, the Alka-Seltzer car. Well, sucks for them because the source material was so bad, but you have powder blue just everywhere and it's boring. There's no design on it. Bold move, but like 2019 standards, it just doesn't hold up.
The number gray or whatever, that metallic,
Yeah.
or whatever you want to call that, it doesn't help. I feel like
No, it does not. If you're going for like periwinkle, why do you pair like metallic silver with it? But
yeah. Just Dockside Logistics kind of gets me in a bummer mood.
yeah, like let's go to the racetrack. Like we're gonna watch some cool sponsors. You go up, we got You know, we got like Sunny D, we got like Bush Beer. Oh, we got Dockside Logistics. Warehouses and distribution. What an exciting fucking sponsor.
Me down.
But I mean, props to them for changing their logo to fit the original. But you're boring as shit, dude. I don't want to look at you.
I guess.
You're boring, bro. And another boring one is Matt Tifft. There's a bit of a story behind this one. Matt Tiff's dad owned a dirt car when he was growing up, driven by this guy, David Hilliker. And I guess Matt Tiff just really liked it. I don't know anything else. Like,
I feel you, Matt Tiffs. I think this is pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to throw back to your dad's car, but it's just boring to me in 2019 standards, you know.
I'm really into it though.
I do like that neon orange color. I
definitely feel the usual negatives of just a lot of barren, but like orange yellow, I love it.
That orange color is really popping. It's like a deep red orange.
The font, it works.
That font. Now, you know, now that we're talking about it, there are a decent amount of things to appreciate. The blue color is very nice. It's not necessarily the deep blue that the 32 had, but it's still a nice color blue. And the font of the 36 and the little like inlaid shadow, or embossing maybe? Is that the better word for it?
I don't know. Yeah.
But how there's two different color oranges in it, that looks pretty sweet.
I think it's a sweet paint job, but it's gonna be close. We'll see.
It's definitely not coming towards my top 10, but I'll give it props. I passed it by on my first glance, but there are a few things to appreciate about this one. I like it. Nope, I'm not going to say that. I think it's run-of-the-mill. I think it's a run-of-the-mill. Okay, on to Mr. Chris Buescher, and he didn't play today, and I don't like that. He didn't play.
Well,
I want to say that he finished pretty well. I think he had like a top 15 finish today. Chris Buescher's one of my favorite drivers. Underrated. But your paint schemes suck, dude. Again,
this is terrible.
Mm-hmm. Really sucks that your race team is like not owned, but like pretty much bossed around by Kroger. Like if you lost Kroger as your sponsor, like you'd just be fucked. So you have to bend to their every whim. So that sucks. Because they can just throw up fucking logos everywhere and not give a shit. You deserve better, man. Anything else?
This is rough. I don't even know why they would choose to do that with the number and then like the behind it gradient black.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would have just kept the wave going.
I don't even know where to start on my criticism. Do you see that like thin orange stripe that goes from oh man, okay, that goes from here and then over here? What is the stripe? Do you see what I'm talking about?
I see what you're talking about.
What is it? What
about that? But it's the least of my concerns. Just with like,
what is this? What is that trying to achieve?
Black.
What is this little indent here? Like, can you not keep a continuous stripe throughout the entire car? You have this little indent here. Like, what the fuck is going on in this area? What the hell happened here, man?
The hood is painful to look at. All right, get out of here.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, we spent too long. Okay, David Reagan in the Shriner's car. This is a throwback to David Pearson. David Pearson is a Shriner himself, so it only makes sense. Unfortunately, this throwback is not faithful at all. With the white hood and the red stripe on the bottom, it looks almost nothing like like this one, and then the blue color's off. What? Like the blue just doesn't match. This sucks. The fonts aren't similar. The more that I look at this, the more that there's just no correlation, almost no correlation, besides basic design language between the throwback and the
minus
original.
the no correlation, and then adding the red, which is not helping this set of colors.
No, it is not. Honestly, though, but if they took these colors and used it in a different design, I think they could have done something with it. But like this kind of two-tone design with a stripe on the bottom and a white hood is just fucking stupid.
Go all in on gold or brown. You shouldn't do too many colors.
Yeah.
I feel like it never works. Like you gotta do brown plus 1 or 2.
Because the gold just doesn't match with that like blue. It doesn't match with that maroon color either. Either pick either the gold with the blue or the gold with the red, not both. Anything else?
Fill the back.
Man, yeah, I agree. Okay, and Daniel Suarez in the 2005.
And 3 murderers.
Yeah, three paint schemes for Tony Stewart today. I appreciate Haas changing up their logo to match the Home Depot logo. However,
And
what was that?
if whoever started it, however long it's been going on, just to like match the. If that wasn't already a precedent, it would be like, should we copy their logo? Is that
Yeah.
okay? But
I wonder how like copyright law is with this stuff.
whatever it is, the mood is you're allowed to do that.
Mhm.
It's kind of like cool.
But again, it just suffers from its source material. This is just flat orange, man.
This is like a famous paint job to me, though.
To me too. I just, even as a kid, I was just like, it's nothing special. It's just orange.
Orange car, though.
The classic, like this is a neon orange. It's a much like deeper
Neon
orange,
helps.
and then this is like, just not. It's just not.
Yeah.
Oh, you kind of suck, dude. Which.
All on nostalgia.
Mhm.
More orange nowadays, brother. It's not as it's not as wild.
Which I don't understand. Daniel Suarez's other sponsor, Eris, their main colors are orange, and Haas's main colors are red. So I don't know why they just didn't do this paint scheme with Eris instead of Haas. With Eris over here. But anyways, I mean, it's just okay. It's nothing special. Okay.
Deep?
We'll skip.
No, this is below Pat, but it can't live all in nostalgia.
Yeah, it's you can't be blinded by your nostalgia goggles. Okay, on to the best paint scheme in my opinion of the day, Kyle Larson. This is throwing back Ricky Craven's 1995 and 96 Kodiak car. And I really, really like this. The 2 shades of green with the little, like, orangish stripes and the white. It's just beautiful, man. Clover does a great job of integrating their logo in.
The orange stripe was like a little bit thicker.
Yeah,
on the whole car that might help.
I agree. Cause, it's kind of thin here too.
I feel like the numbers are just kind of like randomly red. I barely even see the red anywhere else. It's just like
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah,
that over hood is like really cool looking.
Well, this scheme, it was a fucking bear. The logo for Kodiak is a bear, so imagine just a bear on the hood. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I give it 2 thumbs way up. I wish I had more energy since it's fucking 3:30 in the morning to rave about this paint scheme, but honestly, I'm just kind of, I'm just subtly like cruising with the, what am I trying to say?
With like more syllables.
I'm just trying to say I like it, and I'm trying to make a full sentence, like a 15 word long sentence, instead of just saying I like it.
The red and orange just throwing me off too much. Whatever.
If only, yeah, I do wish that the red stripes were a bit thicker, but it's a very faithful recreation of that paint scheme. It holds up in 2019 standards. I think it's like one of the best paint schemes of the year in 2019 standards. I love this thing. Clover did a really good job of putting their logo in, and I just love it, man. I like it. I'm gonna write you down. Final thoughts?
I don't want to be such a pessimist this week, but yeah, I'm leaning like all right on this car. I don't know. I don't see it making like a top 20 cars of the year. To say.
Let's agree to.
Yeah, I feel. I gotta try to put aside the fact, you got my expectations like super high.
Oh, I'm so.
And I was looking.
I guess it's
down,
my fault.
But is a really great car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
It's
move.
not my super cock. It's not my super cock.
It's not a super cock. That's unfortunate. I think it's my super cock. So let's move on to Bubba. Now, this paint scheme throws it back to Adam Petty in 1998. Now, I have an opinion, a heavy opinion on this one. So I believe
It's tough, but I think I like the newer one. I like new Bubba.
I think that the old one is 10 times better than the new one.
Better.
Just both because there's red on the back side of the car, and just no red here is just flat purple. I really think just having the red on the nose of the car is really off-putting without having it flow towards the end of the car. It's just like, I don't know. And then oh shit, I keep messing myself up. How the purple stripe here, it's like a good flow from this curve and right to the back of the car. And in this one, it's just like this weird green stripe is here, and then just the whole backside is purple, and there's no flow. There's no flow like there was in this car.
The green stripe is a little bit odd down there. I like how they changed up the side momentum a little bit.
And
how it's like giving the number space. It's just like in a satisfying way, I'd say.
Another thing for me is I just think the sponsor Spree, just the logo Spree, looks so much cleaner than Victory Junction on the side with the slogan and the logo, and there's text on it. Like, it's just too much.
But if you didn't have to, if it was a great logo, that would help a lot too. I don't know. Yeah, like a Vaseline. I'm just thinking of the V we saw earlier. Some way to incorporate it without kind of overlaying that V. I think it's just. I think orange, purple, green, and yellow are just together, dude. It's like they're all the wacky colors, the weird colors, and it's I don't know.
I think the wackiness works better with this car, and like even a sponsor like Spree, it's like a wacky name for a company, and then Victory Junction. You wouldn't associate Victory Junction with this kind of paint scheme, in my opinion, if that makes any sense to people.
Am I finally getting my satisfying, like the green we had earlier where it did the being into yellow? This is like, it's that same exact green, but so, and just like red and blue have a lot of friends, like they're the head honcho colors. I think odd.
I'm very happy to see purple being used in more paint schemes too. Gotta love that purple. Final thoughts? I think it's just okay.
Bubble bias. You know I love that bubble bias.
You got that bubba bias. Maybe it'll make my I'll fucking write it down. Who knows? Because I do like it. Like I like the cool colors. Like I like throwing out huge contrasting colors with the purple, the green, the yellow, and like the reddish neon orange. I think that's cool. More race cars need to take risks and throw in fucking dumbass colors that have no correlation to each other, just to pop out and say, "Hey, we're doing something different." But I just think the original is much better than the throwback. Okay, on to Ryan Preece, and finally he switches it up from the fucking dog shit. I almost want to like put him on my top.
Yeah, but the flag was better.
I want to put him on my top 10 to like encourage him to keep switching it up, but it's shit. Like it's not good. This is a throwback to Ron Bouchard in the 80s. That Hawaiian Punch sponsorship. And I mean, it's just way too basic, man. It might work for a car like this, but it certainly doesn't for 2019.
I want to say it. I don't want to get you like in a bad state of mind, but I would prefer the flag over this, honestly.
I disagree. I would prefer this to the flag. However, they're both not good. They're both bad, and I don't want to look at it anymore. We're gonna get to a better paint scheme. Okay, fuck this. Fuck you, Ryan Preece. We're gonna get to Jimmy Johnson.
Ooh.
And I fucking love this thing. This is a throwback to Jimmy Johnson's Baja truck in 1995.
All right.
Just that killer, like fucking the purple and that neon orangish reddish color is like that neon reddish orangish color has been on like 3 or 4 different paint schemes this week. It's beautiful.
Reminds me of the 2, I believe it was. The 2 was when I was calling rock and roll car, but like this is so much better with.
This reminds me of that famous image of Prince with the fucking lightning bolt on his face paint. Let me fucking pull it up. No, not Prince. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm talking about David Bowie. This.
Ah.
Reminds me of this. I'm just loving this thing, man. It straddles the line between simple and badass. Like the lightning bolt. I don't know what's up with that lightning bolt, but it just catches your attention. You don't expect lightning to be fucking neon orange. You don't expect race cars to have purple on it. But my one gripe with this is that there's a little too much white. It's a little too boring towards the front of the car and the roof, but I can't knock it too much. This is just hitting all my buttons. High contrasting colors, an interesting and unique paint scheme. Fucking love it. I have very little criticism here.
It's such a rough week. I don't even know if it's gonna make the top 10. Like. It feels like number of the car needs like a little air, but I guess it would kind of mess with what they're going for. Not super high on the car, but
I mean, also just they saw this paint scheme and they just took the basic design elements of purple, white, and like orange lightning bolt, and they transformed it into this like.
This is great.
This like a transformation, like this is like glow up. This is glow up. This is beautiful. I love this thing. Okay. Who drove the 51 today? It was BJ McLeod. And this is another paint scheme from a movie. This movie is Stroker Ace. I looked up the review scores. It was like 2 stars on IMDb.
All right.
Much worse than Days of Thunder, but pretty faithful recreation of the paint scheme, even though the source material just sucks.
Like recreate this paint scheme. It just seems like it was. So how is it?
Your mic is cutting out. Your mic just cut out through that entire sentence.
Okay, sorry.
No worries. Do you want to just go for it again?
See when there was much of a paint job then, so I don't even see like why it was worth bringing this back. You know?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at this fucking thing.
It's like
I do.
an off week. Like I don't see how this could be a memorable paint job. But I'm sure there's out there. But...
I do like this. The fastest chicken in the South. That's the only good thing about this paint scheme. They even the fastest builders in the South. That's kind of funny over here.
Right, mad respect for that.
Yeah. And then there's a chicken over here, and then an excavator, or what do they call these things? Excavator. An excavator over here. That's pretty cool. But again, this thing just like, why recreate a shitty paint scheme? Speaking of recreating shitty paint schemes, is J.J. Yaley. This is a 1953 Bill Blair. Again, just like the 21, they took the trim pieces from the old car and just painted them on. Yeah, that works, bro. Good one. Why did they think this was like... Why did they see this pure white car and think, yes, this is the throwback paint scheme that we need? Which sucks because last year Rick Ware had such good throwbacks, and this year they shit the bed with like a pure white with some silver painted on it.
Imagine the lazy narrative where it's just like he's like, oh yeah, I really love this paint job and it's so that he doesn't have to do any work painting it.
Yeah, imagine the designers like, yo, I found this kick-ass fucking paint scheme from 1953. Don't you guys love it? And they're just like hyping it up so he doesn't have to do a shit ton of work. But yeah, you suck. This paint scheme sucks.
I don't even realize this is a throwback, right? You'd just be like, I guess this is a Jacob Company's car, maybe?
Yeah.
And then...
Like, I would have expected it just to be like, yeah, this guy was unsponsored going into this race, but then just found a sponsor last minute and didn't have the time to come up with the paint scheme and just threw the logo on the side. That's what I would assume if it wasn't throwback weekend. But they will save us. The number 54 is pretty good.
Oh.
Pretty nice. This is throwing back Lenny Pond's 1973 Pepsi ride. Faithful recreation.
Beautiful.
Unfortunately, AQRE doesn't really roll off the tongue. Like 10 times.
That was 4 letters. That's really
10
letters are
10 times better than the base AQRE scheme because that had no color. This is just bright, it's in your face, and you gotta love it. The double stripe through the hood and the roof. Oh man, I don't even think I've seen like a full car stripe like that, or just half of it's a different color. I'm a big.
This is really good.
Yeah,
this is a really good car.
Again, this is like straddling the line between simple and really good. This is simplicity at its finest.
I feel like they just tapped into a gold mine, you know, like you only get one of these, but like, somehow they got the off-color stripe. They just killed it.
Mm-hmm. God damn.
Discovery.
I could like just look at this for like the next half hour. but I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna move on.
Why?
Man, we're gonna move on to Joey Gaze, and you didn't do anything. So then we're going to move on to Reed Sorensen, and this is
A lot of gold.
Motor Racing Network had its 50th anniversary, so they decided to sponsor this car. It's not throwing back anything, but it's just a paint scheme. It's basically a paint scheme.
Gold War.
The Gold War.
Gold.
There's one more gold car. You'll see it next. But I like this color blue. It's a pretty nice, bright, eye-catching blue. It's not as like deep and royal blue or navy as I'd want it to be. The gold highlights the blue pretty well. I mean, you can't go wrong with white, black, gold, and blue. It works perfectly fine. But there's nothing really to write home about. No design stripe on the bottom.
Curbed by the up top.
Up top?
I know it matches the stripe at the bottom, but it really just like it seems to contrast the number on the side so much that it's disturbing.
I see where you're coming from now. Yeah.
It's at most this car is fine.
Yeah, it's just mediocre.
I have like an anti-gold bias pretty much, so.
Compared to the rest of the field, it's just wicked mediocre, man. I mean, throw this in another week, maybe it would break a top 10, but it's kind of pushing it.
Maybe.
And then I'm sorry to disappoint, but we're getting to another just base with the gold stripe on the back. This one is throwing back Tim Richmond from 1986. Suffering from source material. Say it now, say it again. It's just red, gold, white. Boring.
Super dull
Yeah.
car.
Looks like a Folgers coffee can. Anyways, okay.
Yeah, bottom tier car.
Bottom tier car just because of the week, man. Okay, and then last but certainly not least, I think he finished 7th today, was Matt DiBenedetto. And this is throwing back the IMSA series, the IMSA GTOs when Toyota ran in like 90s or so. The Toyota Celicas. Again, but it's just pretty weak just because the source materials, but this reminds me just the colors of Ryan Newman's car, like the diagonal stripes of the yellow, orange, and red. But
it's losing in that battle so hard.
But like compared to Ryan Newman, this doesn't hold a candle. If you got a white,
even without that inferiority battle, it's also not a very exciting paint scheme.
No, it's definitely not. It's going for throwback, man. It's just a lot of these paint schemes. If they're not like, if the throwbacks themselves aren't good, then, or if the classic cars themselves aren't good, then the throwbacks aren't going to be good either. So why bother? You could have done a lot better, man. Yeah. Wow,
really
what a depressing way to end the fucking field, huh?
Yeah, well, gold, too much gold, and then
sad.
That was just rough.
That was
just a rough ending for 98.
It's roughy. Okay, and that is the field.
So we're definitely doing a top 10.
Of course.
Jesus Christ.
Of course we are. I have plenty of material. I could probably even do a top 15 if you really wanted me to. Let's keep it to 10.
All right, I got mine.
Okay. All right. What's your first?
So starting off at number 10, I would have felt bad if it wasn't in my top 10, honestly, because it really is a great car, a unique hood, and I love Clover. You know, I love lucky symbols, but the red, it was just too off-putting for me. That's about it. So that's my number 10 car. So number 9, we got the 43. Bubba, of course, gotta get in the top 10. Couldn't get any higher just because it's groovy and it's funky, but it's hard to beyond like means. I don't know.
I hear you.
Bubba, and it's my
Your mic,
the 30s.
your mic is still cutting out like every other word you're saying. That's super weird. It didn't happen until like just now.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about this. I saw it. I was thinking like Super 8. It's this like film from like I think it's probably it's 80s, right? It's just I don't know. It feels like 80s arcade.
I feel the vibe.
I don't know. I'm a gamer, bro. I'm a gamer at heart. So
If you ain't
just,
a, if you ain't a,
font is just
if you ain't a gamer, then get the fuck out of here.
8 or 7. Yeah, it was just too beautiful from right at the gate. It's beautiful. Everything about it. Oh, everything's thick.
Everything's thick,
I don't know.
dude.
I love the interrupting stripe on the bottom to give the mountains. Got it. Decision making here better than this with this much gray on a car and this high for me. You'll probably never see it again. That's the number 7 car. 6 is the 6. Yellow, orange, and red winner, and out of like 3. But it's just great. I don't know. It's just fine. Order of colors. You know, you've seen it before in games. It's like sick. Yellow, orange, red.
Can't go wrong with those warm colors.
Yeah, something about it just was calling me. You know, I was trying to remember what was that car. Anyway.
All right, hang on though. If Mark Martin's car was in the field, where would you put this?
Ooh, that's definitely probably number 1.
Damn. Okay.
Car.
All right, what's next?
Absolutely in love with this car. This would be like something I would want to put on like one of my god lists. You know.
Mm-hmm.
God list. I would start here. 5. Woo, top 5. 4 car. Lots of dots. Makes me feel good. Gamer alert, of course. Big buck hunter. Can like perfectly blending in with the background, like where it is on the. It's just great. It's just great. All right, you know, I got bush bamboozled. I walked into it. I risked it all, and
you got called the fuck out, Terry.
So yeah, dots for days, bro. You can't go wrong.
Dots for days.
Okay, so the number 4 spot goes to the 32. It's just great. It's, you know, it's not much, but like it's just great. Like it's a design and they kill it, and it's just a super unique design. Huge fan. I like, you know, the throwback was candy. It was a crunch. You know, I like candy.
I think everyone likes candy.
All right, so we're in the top 3. Number 3, 54 car. Yeah, this is just. I've seen that stripe. It's amazing. The numbers, like in front of it. I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Number 2 car is the 18.
Wow, this high up.
But you know, I said it. I'm a candy fiend. Interesting design all the way across. It's just right. The bright red. There's the 18 on the top, matching the Snickers around. So we're up to the just gorgeous 11 car.
Oh yes.
This is a futuristic car. It's ahead of its time.
It's a throwback, yet also ahead of its time. simultaneously.
God, it's hard to put into words, man. It's all the borders. It's beautiful. Even the flag kind of matches up with how like it's set patterns. I don't know. It's beautiful. I don't know how they made the 11 work, but that color works.
Yeah, it's like it's leaning. Well, also the direction of the 11, it's leaning in the opposite direction of the stripes, yet it still works. Okay.
It's time, and it's a throwback. So
it's a throwback. I just have one honorable mention, and that is the 43. It comes so close, man. If it just emulated the Spree car like 100%, it would have made it. It would have made it. My number 10 is the 21. I was really high on this, but comparing it to the rest of the field and talking with Terry about it, knocked it down a handful of pegs. I still love the black, gold, red color scheme, the colored wheels, the font of the number. That's all killer. It's just it's a bit boring. The black is just way too much, man. I like how on the hood, the Ford, there's two different Ford logos. Just like right next to each other. One is colored, one isn't. I didn't notice that until like just right now. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, pretty good. I like it. My number 9 is the 54, and it's not as high as Terry's, not nearly as high as Terry's was. What did you put yours as?
The third. Yeah, it was my number 3.
I mean, still really fucking good paint scheme. The baby blue, the dark blue, the red, they all pop out. They're all in your face. The stripes, I've just never seen a two-tone stripe across the fucking top of the car like that. Beautiful. Just a good paint scheme for a team that had two really other shitty ones. Here's another one that Terry had wicked high, but I had it kind of low, was the 18. Still, really big fan. I mean, just the colors. I mean, it's just like it's a 90s design, but you can transport it to modern day and it still works perfectly. That huge 18 up top with the blue number, the red outline. Just like Terry said, looks just like the stickers logo. Beautiful. I kind of wish they had the blue number, like the blue fill for the number on the side, but can't always get what I wish for. Because half of it's on the white background. Half of it's on a white background. It's a bit jarring. Anyways, really good scheme. My number 6 is the... Hang on. 10, 9, 8... Oh, and then my number 7. My number 7 is Jimmy Johnson and the fucking lightning bolt, the purple. It's simple, it's elegant, yeah, it's fucking beautiful. It's eye-popping. You don't see that purple. You don't see that neon orange. It's clean. It's a little too simplistic for me. I would have put it much higher if it had a little extra going on the hood. If they threw in like one more color, maybe black or something to highlight a few things. I don't know, maybe that could mess things up. Maybe you could add to it. Wouldn't know unless you tried. So, still a really good paint scheme as is. 10 times better than his Baja truck. Alright, my number 6 is Kevin Harvick and the dots, man. Terry, let him know about the dots.
Dots for days, bro. This is just beautiful, man. Like, this is just...
I want to put it I want to put it higher, but it's the hires. The other cars this week are just really good. They're so good. Any other week this would have gotten number 1 hands down. But the big buck, man, those dots and that orange can and the orange car works beautifully. And the fact that I busted Terry's shit earlier.
Yeah.
My number 5 is the 11, and it's wicked low compared to Terry's ranking, and I feel bad. I honestly do. This paint scheme deserves so much more love. And again, any other week, easily number one, but it's way too competitive this week. The orange color is just nice and bright. That gradient is just, it's so modern. Back in like 1990. The metallic silver kind of works. It's interesting. FedEx did a really good job changing up their logos and their colors to fit it, and big props. I'm sure if you don't like the scheme, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, there's just something calling me. It's just a future design, man. Doesn't matter if it's a throwback.
My number 4 is the 6, and again, would have gotten number 1, but I just love the yellow, the orange, and the red. This works so much better than Matt DiBenedetto's card, just because it's not just pure white. The sponsor integration is perfect. It's just clean. It looks, I mean, I can't organize my thoughts. This paint scheme too good. I love it. Also, it's fucking 4 in the morning. I just want to go to bed. Please let this get this over with. My number 3 is the 00.
Wow, that got the third night. Wow.
I just, there's so much nostalgia for this car, man. The silver, the metallic silver, the stylized mountains, the neon orange, and then the font for the Starcom fiber. Everything comes together to create like the perfect nostalgia boner for me. I just can't tear my eyes away from it. I think I should print this out and just like probably put it on my ceiling above my bed, so whenever I go to sleep I can fall asleep looking at this paint scheme. It's pretty. Gotta love it. My number 2 is 32 of Coeur Lejeune, and just like Terry said, this scheme is clean. The colors are amazing. It's just stylized to all hell, and you gotta love crunch, man. When I was a kid, my crunch bars were my favorite. I've matured since then, but now 100 grands are my favorite. Nope, paydays are my favorite. Crunch is still good, but I love Payday.
Super young, savage days.
Yeah, I mean, thank God for companies changing their logos to fit the throwback schemes, because this would be nothing. Like, this wouldn't be the same without it. Masterpiece. And my number 1. Yeah,
you weren't kidding about
I wasn't kidding about it. I love this fucking thing, man. The 2 different shades of green are just like tickling my pleasure bone, my pleasure receptacles. I'm not really bothered by the thin red stripes as much as Terry is. I'm not too bothered by the numbers just being red while the rest of the car, the majority of the car, isn't. I think it has a really good balance. It has a really good sense of speed with the stripes heading backwards. It's got the colors have pretty nice contrast. They complement each other well. Clover's a cool sponsor. I like their logo. It's just a really nice replica of the Kodiak scheme. It works in 2019. It worked back then. It works in 2019. You gotta love it. Anything else to say about it other than I want to give it a wedding ring. I want to get down on one knee. I want to slide a ring on its finger, and I want to suck its toes. Okay. That was the top 10. My God, my brain cells are fried.
The winner is the 18, then, right? Yeah, like by total score of the week.
I had it at 10, 9. I had it at 8.
You only had the 18 at 8?
Yeah. Crunch was the 32.
32. Okay, so I had that at 4.
I had that at 2. That's probably it.
Oh yeah.
What did you have 6 at?
6.
I had mine at 4. Okay, the 32 wins this week. Easy, 32 wins this week. of course, thank you very much for watching the podcast. We'll be back next week at full energy because we won't be recording at fucking 2 to 4 in the morning.
Hopefully, less technical difficulties, or maybe occasionally.
We'll have the Terry's cam and his mic figured out by then. Also, I wasn't high at all for this episode. I'm taking a tolerance break. That's gonna go on for the next few episodes. This break is gonna be like 4 weeks. Anyways, anything else to add? All right.
Great paint jobs.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves Darlington.
They'll carry it. They'll carry us.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Thanks for watching the Trading Pain Podcast, episode 10. We are on every single podcast service that you could possibly imagine. We have a website. Check out the season rankings. All those people from Reddit coming in, hello. We love you. Thank you for watching. I hope you stick around. I hope you hit subscribe, the bell icon. As much as I sound like a shill, it really does help. I just love making this podcast, man. I'd do it solo if Terry wasn't with me even. I love this thing, man. Great.
Let's go to bed.
Let's just go to fucking bed. Have a good one, everybody. Take it easy.